Welcome to Before Floor, the pregame show edition of Five on the Floor, brought to you by the Five Reasons Sports Network. I'm your host, Jonathan, aka Three Piece Combo. I'm joined by Mr. Mateo Mayorga, and of course, Alejandro running us in the back here producing. Guys, we are here for Game 4, where Miami has the opportunity to go down 3-1 against the Denver Nuggets. Here's tonight at home, obviously. Our boy Gad is checking out the game, and we got some live coverage there as well. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys follow us. Make sure you guys subscribe. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere else, so that way you get caught up on all the pregame questions, postgame interviews, all that good stuff. Make sure you guys like the video as well. We appreciate that very, very much. Now, guys, as always, we want to make sure we thank some of our sponsors here at the pregame show. The first one being allproconstructionbuilders.com. So if you guys, you're young with the family and you want to make sure that you're protecting your business and you want to make sure that hurricane season doesn't affect you, look at to allproconstructionbuilders.com. They specialize in impact windows and doors for both commercial and residential. They're state certified license and they're an insured general contractor. They service Miami-Dade and Monroe counties, and they only use American-made products, guys. So you're not getting products from anywhere else. And also they have competitive pricing, and it's a family-owned business. So make sure you contact them for a free estimate at 305-484-4429. Reach out to the Heat fan, Danny, and his family. You'll work with the family from start to finish. And mention Five Reasons Sports, you'll get a 10% discount. So like I said, that number is 305-484-4429, or visit their website at allproconstructionbuilders.com. They'll give you a free consultation. Guys, we're here for game 4. Like I said, Miami Heat versus the Denver Nuggets. Last game was not the best game. Miami wasn't able to offensively get it going. Defensively, not terrible, giving up, I think, 104 to the Denver Nuggets, but not able to score just enough points to get the win. So, Mateo, I want you to kind of take a look at, sir. Tell me some of the things that you saw from the game 3 that you feel need adjustment going into game 4.
Well, something that really killed the Heat was the Jokic Murray pick and roll, especially with the dribble handoff. This really tore the Heat apart to shreds. And when they run it specifically like at the wings, you gotta probably blitz Murray every time to try to create the trap up top. This is the best place to create because it allows for better fast break opportunities. If he does get the step, going low, you do still want to double him and send two to trap on the baseline. But, in the last game, him and the Joker each had a triple doubles. They had historic nights, and each with 30 points. So they were killing the Heat whenever really they wanted to. And early on in this game, the Nuggets were shooting very poorly from outside of the paint. The Heat were doing well, covering everything outside of the lane, but they were just getting everything they wanted in there. Going forward, what I'd like to see the Heat do is, match the Joker with Bam Adebayo every minute on the floor, like specifically like having Bam stay attached with him at the hip the entire time, because I think there is real wisdom in having the Joker become the scorer, no matter what Spoelstra says and no matter how he treats Ramona Shelbourne. But so when he sees single coverage, I think that entices him to take more shot attempts. And you can afford to do this when you have someone like Bam, who's 6'9" and who can cover multiple spots, everywhere on the floor. If he is that guy, which I believe he is, you can afford to leave him on an island with the Joker and live with the results. So you can double guys like Murray, or if guys like Porter Jr., who have not had their breakout game offensively in this series, if they start getting hot on the perimeter, you can have someone operate like a free safety to double after the catch, or someone like Gordon too, if he starts getting active, cutting on the baseline or through the middle, bothering him after he receives the pass. So those are the things I'd like to see the Heat do better, Jonathan.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And I want to shout out to my guy, Christopher Chen, joining us in the comments. Thank you, Mr. Chen, joining us. Would you play Duncan Robinson more than Max Strus? Personally, I do think there is opportunities there for Duncan Robinson in the game tonight. I feel like when he comes in, it allows Miami to open up things in a little more of a way that's a little more intentional, right? Max Strus is really good at getting his shot off, but I feel like the way Duncan Robinson is able to force defenses to stretch out and really close out on him is a different type of way than Max Strus does, just because now he's a little more of an on-ball threat too as well. With the ball in his hands, he's able to make some plays. He's able to find some back cuts. And even if he's not, when he's cutting and drawing two people, you have situations like we had in game 3 where you have him drawing two, you have Gabe Vincent out there able to knock down the three to take the lead. So I love Max Strus. I think he's going to get his shots regardless, but I do think Duncan Robinson has the opportunity to come out and play a little bit better of a game and bring something more. Our guy Bryce Blackwell is saying we need to play better on offense. That's exactly what I was saying. I think defensively we didn't do a terrible job, even though giving up 2 triple-double, 30-point triple-doubles to both Murray and Jokic. I feel like the way we defended the rest of the team wasn't too bad. It's like Mateo said, defending the pick-and-roll action with those two guys and not letting Murray become the scorer and let Jokic become the passer as he is last game out. So you can't let that happen too often. Another adjustment before we get to the prize picks that I want to see coming into this game. I want to see the Jimmy Butler of the first quarter throughout all 4 quarters, right? I think that we got a really good Jimmy Butler. And I'll see you soon, Christopher. I appreciate you joining us here in pregame. But I loved what I saw from Jimmy in that first quarter. But I think going past that, he started to become a little more passive. And I'm not sure if this is an injury thing or what's going on with him, but we see that as the game goes on, he becomes more and more passive, which isn't something you typically saw from Jimmy. I feel like before you would see Jimmy just be a little more aggressive as the game goes on, and he would feel himself out towards the beginning of the game. So I'd love to see a Jimmy Butler masterclass tonight, especially trying not to go down 3-1. Heater Not Hater is saying, "What's up, fam? Haywood Highsmith guarding Murray will work." I would love to see some more of those minutes. I didn't see any Haywood. I could be wrong, but I'm not sure if I saw any Haywood last game, and I saw Zeller.
2 minutes.
Yeah, I would
relief minutes.
Definitely prefer to take Zeller out. Let Haywood and Kevin Love kind of cover those big minutes when it's non-Bam. So I'm definitely there with you. But let's get into prize picks, guys. And if you're going to use prize picks, you're going to play daily fantasy, make sure you use that promo code 5, spell it out, FIVE. We'll match your initial deposit up to $100. So that way, that's free points, guys. It's literally, like I said, up to $300. Like I said, that promo code right on the screen, spell it out, FIVE, and that way we'll match your deposit up to $100. So we got a couple names on the board. Let's see what I like so far. We got Kyle Lowry at 8.5. They actually have Christian Braun there too, and Duncan Robinson. So here's this. I'm gonna go with the Duncan Robinson over 6.5. I feel like these are one of the games where you'll get a Duncan Robinson stretch, right? It might not be an entire game, but I think you'll have a little stretch where he'll get some points. I think 6.5 is more than attainable for a player of his caliber, especially with him probably going to be getting more shots from the outside. Let me see if he has any other props that I like.
I do like that for Duncan.
Screw the points. I like the 1.5 3-point made. I'll take that instead.
Okay.
I like him making 2 threes.
That's safe. What
about you, Mateo? Which player do you want to take a look at?
Do they have Adebayo point? Oh, sure. But what do they have for his points?
They have him at 20, so they raised him up. I think it was at 16.5 last time. He's at 20.5 this time. 10.5 rebounds. And let's see, 1.5 dunks.
Let's take the points on the over. Last game, he barely broke over 20, and he took a large volume of shots, and he wasn't scoring very efficiently. But on a lot of these misses, or at least close to a handful, Bam Adebayo missed himself. There was a couple in the first quarter where he had got the step on the Joker, and he missed a reverse layup and a shot at the elbow that wasn't really bothered. He needs to be better, and if they're gonna give him this space, or if he's gonna beat his man, I think he's gonna finish better. When Bam scored or takes that many shots, he's usually an efficient scorer. In the first game, he shot he has over 25 points on over 50% of his shots. So Bam is a dependable scorer in this series. And to tell you the truth, of all the Nuggets defenders, he is the one who is seeing the least capable one. And I don't say that as a shot at the Joker. He has improved a whole lot, especially in the playoffs. He's taken his defense to another level. But the fact of the matter is, someone like Jimmy is seeing guys who are really, better than advertised, and Porter Jr. and Gordon on the ball, and because of their length and size, they take away passing or passing lanes and driving avenues for guys like Jimmy. So really, Bam Adebayo is the way to go, especially with the offense, and I think the opportunities will be there with the space. He just needs to finish better. So go over with the points.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think Bam. This is the series made for Bam. Another person I was looking at was Kevin Love. They only have him at 4.5 rebounds. I know he only had 2 last game, but I feel like Kevin Love having a good rebounding game is important for us to getting a win. I do think the over on the 4.5 rebounds is another opportunity there. So, like I said, guys, make sure you use the flex play so that way you can maximize your money. And even if you get one of them wrong, you're still good to go and play it out there. Mateo, do you have any more picks to close out with before we get to predictions?
Yes, Gabe Vincent.
Let's take a look at
his shooting percentage from 3-point range. What is it on right now? Because last game, listen, I'm regardless of what it's at, I'm going to take the over. In the last game, he only made 1 out of 6, and he missed some makeable looks. The shots in the drop coverage will be there. Jamal Murray is someone who may or may not, depending on how hard he's playing, it depends if he's going to get it over the screen. If he doesn't, if he's going to go under, the shots will be there for Gabe from deep or in the, or I know this one is for a 3-point shot. The shots will be there, but he will also have opportunities to get to the hole in this game as well. So give me the over on Gabe.
Awesome. Yeah, 2 3-point shots made. I like that over on him for his 3-point shots made as well. Appreciate you guys. What is Vanley the word on Jamal and the floor burn? The word is his dad used to abuse him when he was younger by putting hot tea on his knees or something while he was shooting free throws or something like that. So I don't think Jamal is too worried about that. I heard there was an issue coming out of the game that maybe that would be an effect thing for him. Maybe it does. Vanley saying Chris Braun under 4.5 points is an absolute lock.
Oh yes,
that's
actually wait under. I would
say over. Yeah, I was going to say over.
Absolutely over.
Yeah, I think he might have went over because he's one of those other guys that can get his shots in different types of ways. He can make the three. The finish he had over Jimmy, shout out to the boy. I mean, he put the body on Jimmy and he was able to get it in there. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights saying, yo, what's going on, my man? Appreciate you joining us. But yeah, man, I do think those 4 picks are for those price picks are good. I'll get to predictions for tonight. Probably won't like my predictions, so I'll let Mateo close it out. I mean, it's tough for me to envision Miami getting a win against Denver, right? They're objectively the better team from top to bottom. Is 3 times less than what he scored. You think odds makes it dead? He won't get minutes.
I don't believe that's true that he will get minutes. He has become one of their dependable guys. You know, I asked Joker about how they look at him after game 1, and they don't see him as a rookie because he is super aggressive on offense and especially on defense, a champion at the college level, 3 times in a row at the high school level. This dude just balls, always is in the right spots, plays hard at all time. He just finds his minutes. He will definitely have minutes. If he doesn't hit his shots, that's something else, but minutes he will get tonight for sure. Sorry, Jonathan, go on.
Mateo, I love when you start spitting, my boy. That's when I love that shit. But guys, like I was saying, as far as tonight, I'm not sure if Miami would get the win. If I'm picking by my confidence level, I'm not too confident tonight to win. This is just me preparing myself for heartbreak, so that way I don't live with that much longer, right? But I do think I think Denver found a solution for some of the issues in game 2. I would have think that game 3 would have been the more winnable game, in my opinion, when coming back home, because looking at the body language of the Denver Nuggets after they blew that lead at home and they came onto the road, it looks like more so Miami had the advantage coming into game 3, and we weren't able to show up. First half wasn't too bad, but it was second half really where we let down. So I don't think Miami gets the dub tonight. I do think this series goes 6, but I think it's going to be a tough time for Miami to win tonight. I think if Miami does win, they're going to have to do a much better job slowing down Jamal Murray. Those open shots that he was getting, those can't be the shots he's getting. I mean, make him an inefficient shooter. If he's going to score, make him inefficient. But I think just because of the Jimmy Butler thing, man, and this is something that's in the back of my head, seeing the way his ankle's swelling, I'm not sure if he's going to be 100, or if he is at 100% right now, and if he's able to put it on the table. Curious to see how this game goes. Mateo, how you feeling about this one?
You know, I'm going to go with a Heat W. One of the things that I saw that actually gave the Heat success defensively was the 2-2-1 press, which is, you know, a full court press to put pressure on the ball to take time away from the clock. And, you know, one thing that I think the Heat will do today that will make it more difficult to dissect, especially when Murray is taking the ball up the court, is to include Haywood Highsmith actually in the rotation more than, you know, the couple of relief minutes you saw him in game 3. He is someone who can hound the ball handler. He is someone who can actually stay attached to the hip on off ball players when they're relocating on the perimeter, especially someone who you would like to put on Murray for a lot of, or not a lot of time, but definitely a look you'd like to put on him. But this is a game where I think, the Heat follow their theme all season of getting it done the hard way. Of course, like you said, this is their toughest opponent they've seen all postseason. But, the way Bam has been defended, the shots will be there for him. Jimmy has to find a way to get in where he fits in. He did have a aggressive start in the opening of the last game, and hopefully that continues in this game. You really need him to be productive early, because if he is hurt, which I think he is, because I saw him limping in game 2, going into a halftime break when you rest, that really kills your adrenaline and it can make you stiff. So you really need Jimmy to be super explosive early. I believe the opportunities will be there for Bam Adebayo. Duncan Robinson will get his minutes. I thought he was effective in game 2, especially on a couple of dribble handoff plays that he got a couple of shots on the perimeter to go in. So give me a Heat W tonight. The Heat get it done the hard way.
Beautiful. He did it in the hard way. Not feeling so great about it. We got 2 different opinions, but hey, that's what we're here for. Guys, if you feel like I'm wrong and you feel like I'm an idiot, I have no guts. This is the face of no guts right here, right? Let me just shut up in the comments. Drop your predictions out. Blaze T saying Zeller is buns, no doubt. And it's also saying Max needs to make at least 3 or 4 threes. I definitely agree with that. Van Lee saying we limited Denver to under 30% from 3 home and away. We just aren't scoring. They're paying 34% around him. Absolutely insane. That's a big point, man. That's a big point right there. Like you said, the finishing around the paint can be under 50% when you have a center like Jokic defending, and you have 2 guys that are so good, like Jimmy and Bam, that are getting to the rim. They did a really good job early this season for the whole season, but it'll be tough for that. But let's see. OTR gang say we need Jokic and Yurtseven to see time. It's tough to integrate new players, my man. I mean, I love the Heat lore, right? Maybe it's canon in another timeline, but to see Jovic and Yurtseven in this finals, man, the only time we see that is if it's a blowout on either way. I'm probably sure we're not going to see that. Roberto Granizo saying, have some guts. Dude, I had some Taco Bell. My guts are in the trend. But Van Lee saying, can you guys stop with Zeller? He's doing fine. Cut buyout guy. Cut him some slack. It's true, though. You're not wrong, because Coach Bo is obviously putting in there because he is a bigger body. But like I was texting my boy, man, he'll have a great running layup that we don't expect him to make, and then he'll go make 3 mistakes on the other side. So, it sucks with Zeller. He's doing fine for a buyout guy, but he's doing just as good as Dwayne Dedmon at this point, where he's a negative. And I mean, if you look at the Boston series, I'm pretty sure the games we lost, he was just enough negative for us to make lose those games. So that's a little bit of an interesting thing. But guys, we're going to close out here. Appreciate you guys all joining us in the comments, man. It means a lot to us. Alejandro has some player interviews for us, so keep it live. So make sure you guys can see some of those questions that they're asking going into game 4 tonight. But as always, guys, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Like the video, and let's go Heat.
Let's go.
Well, how would you describe what you just saw from Joker and Jamal? And did anything you saw in the prior 48 hours give you any indication that they had that building?
I think it's the first time in finals history, or maybe NBA history, that you guys had 30-10 triple-doubles. So that's incredible right there. Regarding Nikola, nothing he does surprises me ever. This guy has shown time and time again that he's built for these moments. He thrives in these moments, the biggest stage, and he did that once again tonight. Jamal, I'm really proud of Jamal. And I could tell, speaking to him yesterday, being around in the last 48 hours, that he was putting a lot of game 2 on him. And it wasn't just him. It was me and every one of our players. It was collective. But that's what champions do. That's what warriors do. They battle back. And I just felt his presence all game long. Forget the stats for a second. I felt Jamal Murray's presence, his energy. And he was here. He was in the moment. And for him and Nikola to do what they did tonight in a game that we needed to regain control and home court advantage of the series was special to watch. But it wasn't just those 2. I felt Aaron Gordon, 11, 10, and 5. I felt Michael Porter, 7 boards. And Christian Brown, I have to give Christian a lot of love. I felt his play, what a bad press room, by the way. I felt Christian Brown's play was fantastic. Did not look like a rookie, aggressive, strong, physical, confident. And his 15 and 4 off the bench in 19 minutes were very, very impactful. So good win for us, but we did not come down here to get one win.
Up front.
Michael Youngmisuk, ESPN. Considering everything you've seen Nikola and Jamal do, but considering also the stage of which this was done, is this the greatest game you've ever seen those two together perform and do this?
You know, I've been with Nikola for 8 and Jamal for 7 years now. And we've had some pretty good moments, but not in the NBA Finals. And for those guys to make history the way they did tonight, no one's ever done that. I mean, that's what's really neat about it. You get the win. I thought our defense was fantastic tonight. You hold that team to 94 points, 37 from the field, only 11 threes. That really helped us out tonight, the defending and rebounding at a high level. But by far their greatest performance as a duo in their 7 years together.
Mike, as we see the triple doubles there, obviously on the stat sheet, but after your comments about the effort, what's it mean to see those second chance points and rebounding numbers and those effort kind of stats? What's it mean to you to see those stick out for your team after that?
It means that our guys understood game 2 was not who we are. It's not who we can be, especially at this stage of the season. And they responded like they always do. That's one thing I know about our group. When we don't play well, we own it, and we find a way to be resilient and get back to playing Denver Nugget basketball, and that's what we did tonight.
Standing on the right. Coach,
Christian Braun's performance was excellent tonight. Is this performance to some video analysis in which Christian was shown where his opportunities were?
So Christian Braun?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Christian has proved himself all year long, and he was in the rotation to end the season. He's been in the rotation throughout these 18 playoff games now. And if you look around, there's not many rookies playing meaningful minutes in the NBA this time of year. And it speaks to Christian's confidence. It speaks to him being a winner. He's won at every level, high school, college, and now he's in the NBA Finals as a rookie in the NBA. And he just has stayed ready the whole year, mentally, physically, emotionally. That kid never gets too high, never gets too low. Very calm, cool, and collected young man. And I just, tonight, man, I could just feel the confidence kind of oozing out of him. The physical, aggressive drives, making plays for guys against their zone. It was really fun to watch a young man step up like the way Christian did tonight.
Ramona on the right.
Hi, Coach. Way back here. Ramona Shelby with ESPN. I know you said you haven't been to the NBA Finals with these guys before, but how much does just them having been together for so long, knowing how to handle different defenses that are thrown at them, what teams try to do to them, how much does that play here in a game like this?
Well, it's I've always felt, Ramona, that Nikola and Jamal Murray are one of the most elite and lethal two-man game combos in the NBA. And we've seen that for growing for 7 years now, and I think it was on full display once again tonight. A lot of guys play with each other. I think those two guys play for each other and off of each other, and they read each other so well. And the best part about it is early in the game, I mean, Jamal was getting blitzed tonight. He had two guys on him a lot, and he didn't fight it. I mean, I think early in the playoffs, there were games where he was getting attention, and he was trying to make, the home run play maybe at times. But for him tonight to come off, I got two guys on me. I'm just going to find Nikola in the pocket or Christian Braun cutting, whatever it may be. So it was really impressive, Jamal's performance. But, yeah, those two guys as a two-man combo, they give a lot of people headaches.
Vinny in the middle.
Vinny Benedetto with the Denver Gazette. Michael, you mentioned Christian's confidence. Is that something that he showed up with on day one, or have you seen him kind of grow into himself over the course of the season?
No, he showed up with that. I mean, that young man, like I said earlier, Vinny, when you win 3 straight high school state championships, when you win a national championship in which he never came out of the game, played all 40 minutes, he's very confident, and he should be. I mean, we believed in him, we drafted him, and he's everything we hoped for and more. But that confidence is something that his mother, his father, his family, that I think he's had from a very early age.
Third row on your left.
Michael Rohan, Notgreen Sports Illustrated. You mentioned how Jamal was getting blitzed tonight. That was happening a lot, even with Nikola on the floor. Do you recall that happening often, a team sending a double at Jamal, even with Joker on the floor?
Yeah, I mean, usually it's a lot more likely when Nikola sits. Well, I don't know if you guys realized, but Nikola didn't sit in the second half. And so when I congratulated him after the game for his 32, 10, and 21 rebound performance, I said, maybe we're on to something here. You may not come out in the second half the rest of the series. But yeah, it's Jamal's going to attract so much attention, but usually it's when Nikola's off, because if you put 2 on the ball, Jamal, and he finds Nikola in the pocket, something good is usually going to happen. The mid-range shot where he's almost automatic, Aaron or Jeff working behind the defense or spraying out to a three-point shooter. So, that's the kind of game that Jamal was having, and he adjusted to how he was being guarded, which is what you need from your starting point guard.
Joe, front left.
Joe Varden, The Athletic. Michael, obviously a ton of individual performances to celebrate. But you came out of both games 1 and 2 talking about how you guys didn't feel like you played well. Do you feel like you played well tonight as a team?
I felt this is by far our best game of the series, most complete game of the series. And it's not because of the triple-doubles or, to your point, all the individual stats. It's because we held that team to 94 points, 37 from the field, only 11 threes. And to out-rebound somebody by 25 in a finals game, that's a significant number right there. And it wasn't just Nikola's 21. I mean, Aaron gets 10, Jamal gets 10, Michael gets 7, Christian gets 4, 28 assists, 60 in the paint. And the fourth quarter defense, only 31% from the field allowed. So, yes, I loved our energy, our effort, our urgency, our discipline. I thought we were where we needed to be tonight, and we'll have to be even better come Friday evening.
Dan, last question on the right side, fourth row.
Oh, here, Coach Dan Devine, Yahoo Sports. Going back to Jamal, at least 3 or 4 times tonight, he had like kind of silence or answer jumpers. They start to get on a little bit of a run, step back over Bam, pull up in transition, sort of pull up on the mid-range. That kind of sense of the moment of when you really need that bucket. Is that something that Jamal's kind of always had since you've had him?
It is. His 1 year at Kentucky, he was a prolific scorer. Obviously, he played off the ball with Tyler Ulis many years ago. And I often laugh when I think about his first 2 years in Denver. He was our backup shooting guard. And now he's getting a triple-double in the NBA Finals. But, yeah, Jamal, Dan, he's a guy that thrives, lives, and excels in the moment. Never afraid of it. And you can't say that for a lot of players. I mean, in the regular season, guys can have really good seasons. But in the playoffs, on this stage, and, Jamal missed our last 2 postseasons, and he's been dying to get back to this setting and just go out there and put on the performance that he's putting on. So really proud of him bouncing back from game 2, as well as all of our players from bouncing back the way we did tonight. And once again, Friday night, we know we're going to have to be even better against a very good team in Miami. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Coach.
We're going to start on the far right.
Anthony Chang, Miami Herald. When Jokic and Jamal are playmaking off each other like that, how unique is it and how challenging is it just to key in on one of them when both of them have it going like that?
Yeah, it's a great duo. But their games really complement each other. You have one guy that's really can score in a lot of different ways. Another guy who's setting great screens or handoffs, and then if the ball gets back to him, he can get a bunch of people involved. And certainly at the beginning of the game, that kind of set the tone. But then from there, we lost a lot of physical 50-50 or ball in the air, ball on the floor battles throughout the course of the game. At key moments, when the moments could have been swing moments, they were coming up with those plays. You have to expect that, not losing the battles. You have to expect there to be elite talent in the finals, and both those guys are elite level talent. At our best version, we've find ways to overcome that, make it tough on them, and then certainly not lose the overwhelming majority of those physical battles, the 50-50 battles, the ball in the air, ball on the floor battles. And that made it too much to overcome. The dynamic of those two, but also getting all the extra effort points.
We're going to stay on the right side in the first row.
Cooper Moore, headheat.com. They only took 18 threes, which is low for anybody. So was there an effort to take away the three-point line that maybe influenced what they were able to get done in the paint?
No, I wouldn't even say that. They just pummeled us in the paint. They didn't really have to shoot threes. They had 60 in the paint. They probably shot over 65% at the paint at the rim. There wasn't a need to space the floor. We didn't offer much resistance, and a lot of those plays were relief points in transition that kind of gave them some separation, some cuts, some timely cuts, and then timely offensive rebounds that led to either buckets or free throw attempts, from there. I thought offensively we actually did get a lot of opportunities in the paint. I haven't seen the percentage. I don't have my glasses right now, but I would have to say our percentage at the rim or in the paint was pretty poor. Yes, you do have to credit their size and everything like that, but we've proven that we can finish in the paint. When we're at our best. But offensively, yeah, there's definitely some things where we got flattened out. And they jammed us up in possessions, got us late into possessions, and then sometimes we were forced with those plays, and that can kind of have a different flow and feel to it than if it's just, in our typical, rhythm of our offense.
First row in the middle.
Hey, Spo, this is Will Giller from The Athletic. Throughout the playoffs, you talked about the confidence you guys have in the guys outside of Bam and Jimmy to produce and put up big numbers for you guys offensively. What do you think kind of made it difficult on those group of guys tonight?
I just think sometimes for us, when we lose a lot of those physical battles, the effort plays, the loose balls, the rebounding battles, that's our identity. And sometimes that can affect the flow of the rest of your game. That's not an excuse. I think the thing that we've proven over and over and over is we can win and find different ways to win regardless of whether we have confidence, regardless of whether the ball's going in. We have a determination to impact the game. And find a different solution or different way to win a game, regardless of whether the ball's going in. It felt like at times, some of those missed shots at the rim or in the paint, the makeable shots that we've made, the last several months or weeks, that affected a little bit of our whatever going down the other end. And that hasn't happened, a lot. I do want to get to the film because I'm not totally sure about that. It felt like that. We're at our best when we're winning those battles first. So you can just check that box. The physical battles, 50-50s, ball in the air, ball on the floor. We win those battles. We figure everything else out along the way.
Second row in the middle.
Hey, Spo, Vince Goodwill, Yahoo Sports. I think the rebound margin was the greatest since like 1972 in a finals game. When you think about this as being what you guys do, was that the message in the locker room of telling the guys, hey, we have to rebound, we have to get to the 50-50? Because it feels like that's the only thing you've said since you've been up here.
Yes. Well said.
First row on the right side, Tim Reynolds.
Tim Reynolds, Associated Press. Eric, I know you can't do anything about the schedule, obviously. Is it a good thing that there's only one day between this one instead of sitting around stewing on this one for 2 days?
I would think so. They probably felt the same way, coming off their loss at the extra day, whatever they, our guys are built to compete, built to get out there. That cadence of playing every 48 hours. We'll get to work tomorrow for sure. But our guys, they want to get out there and compete. and have a better showing, for sure.
Last question, Coach, in the middle.
Eric, Rohan Notkerny, Sports Illustrated. I asked you before the game about Denver getting out in transition, even off misses, not necessarily turnovers. You said something to the effect of when Jokic piles up the rebounds, he kind of starts pushing the ball. I think he obviously had many, many rebounds tonight, 20. What's the first step in slowing them down once he gets the rebound? Like, what does it start in terms of stopping them from getting out and running?
Yeah, there's a lot of different layers to that, right? Your offensive execution, your intentionality offensively, getting the right shots. It certainly helps, making some of those shots in the paint or at the rim. But regardless, we've proven that we can figure it out even if we're not making 70% of shots in the paint or on rim attempts. But then your floor balance matters, and then your next play speed. The brain speed to get onto the next play, and make sure you have 3 or 4 guys back, and then communication from there. They did get some relief points, particularly in that first half when it was either tied or we had small leads, that they just came right back, with some relief points that just kind of kept them alive and kept them momentum, shifting a little bit. All right, thank you.
How you doing, Mark Stallworth, Miami Times? You're down 2-1 in this series. First loss in this playoff, in the finals since 9 years. And how does it feel? What's the emotions in the locker room? How you guys going to improve for Friday?
We feel great. We didn't play our best tonight. I feel like we just got to come out with more energy and effort, and that's correctable. That's on us as a group. No X's and O's can fix that. So, come out, dive on the floor, get loose balls, get defensive rebounds, and maybe, just maybe, it would have been a different game.
We're going to go to the right side, first row.
Cooper Moorhead, Heat.com. Jimmy, you and Bam combined to shoot 10 of 30 in the paint tonight. Did you feel like most of the attempts were shots that were in your wheelhouse, or is there something Denver was doing paint defense-wise that kind of hurt a little bit? I can only speak for myself, and I just missed some that I normally make, along with Bam too. But we going to continually take those, getting 2 feet in the paint. If you can get a shot up, get it up. If you can't, get it out to your shooters. I think we did a good job of that. Maybe we do have to do a better job of finishing, but those are the same shots that we're going to get next game, and we're expected to take and make those.
On the far right, first row.
Anthony Chang, Miami Herald. You two guys are kind of the 2 primary defenders most of the time on that pick and roll with Jamal and Jokic. What makes that pick and roll just so unique and so effective like it was tonight?
One, Jokic can pass, and Jamal is looking to score. I feel like that's what makes it so dynamic.
We're going to go to the left side and back.
Jimmy, Nick Friedel, ESPN. You guys got out rebounded 58-33. You mentioned the effort. Why do you think it was so lacking tonight?
I don't know. I can't answer that. Maybe, we're at home. We think we did something. I don't know. It just can't happen. It won't happen again. It starts with myself. I got to lock in on a defensive end. I got to go up and get loose balls. So I think if I start playing and doing that, then everybody else has to follow suit.
We're going to go to the right side in the back, fourth row. Yes.
Hi, Jimmy from China Migu. When Nuggets play pick and roll and with Jokic, and we kind of like double a lot. Do you think that is good strategy for tonight?
I don't know. We're going to get back to the film and figure it out. Because we do have to be better guarding both of those guys. One is the ball handler, one is the guy that's setting the screen and popping or rolling. It's not an easy task to do, but, if we want to win, we're going to have to figure it out.
We're going to go to the middle, third row.
Sorry about that. Rohan Notkerny, Sports Illustrated. Denver's really successful at kind of running off misses. It's like they get transition opportunities. even when you guys aren't necessarily turning over the ball. What's the key to slowing them down when Jokic grabs the rebound and wants to run? What's kind of the first thing you have to do to stop him from running out like that?
All 5 guys get back. I feel like that eliminates the transition. Everybody get back, load to the ball, and then we figure it out from there.
We're going to go to the first row in the middle.
Will Giller from The Athletic. You've talked to all players about how you're more than happy to get off the ball, allow your teammates to do them. I think you're around like 21, 22 shots at the end of the third quarter. What were you seeing that made you feel like you want to just be a little bit more assertive with your shot tonight?
2 feet in the paint. Shoot the shots that I know that I can make. Stay aggressive. It's the same thing. I think if guys are open, like I said, I always got to pass it to them. I will continually do that. But if I get 2 feet in the paint, I'm expected to shoot a layup or a floater, and I'm expected to make it too.
We're going to go left side, second row.
Bam, you in the midst of an historic comeback playoff run, you somehow bring the game to within 9 points, 90 seconds to go, and the arena's half empty. I'm sorry for this question, but isn't that disappointing?
I mean, I'm in a game, so I'm not really focused on fans leaving. I'm really focused on can we get a stop, can we score, and then see if we can come back in this game with 50 seconds left.
Right side, third row.
Tomer Azarli from Clutch Points. Jimmy, or Bam, I guess. Did you guys notice that they made a concerted effort to kind of take Max out of the game, especially when he had those four threes in the first quarter last game?
I mean, they look at film. They definitely watch the game plan. And, you know, the biggest thing for us is watch film and see how we can get Max open again.
Last question. Okay, thank you, gentlemen.
All right, appreciate you.
That's all that matters, people.
Again, if called upon, please provide your name and affiliation. We're going to go to the middle.
Hey, Caleb. Alex Lito, 5 Reasons Sports. So the Nuggets got up 29 shots at the rim today. I believe they were second in the league at getting up shots at the rim during the season. How hard is it to limit the amount of easy buckets that they create in the paint at the same time that you guys had some trouble finishing in the paint on the other end of the floor?
Yeah, that was crucial for us tonight, points in the paint. They did a great job of getting the ball into certain places for Jokic and just getting him and Murray in their spots. And we got to do a better job of making it tougher on the catches and put more pressure on those guys to get tougher looks in that.
Right side, first row.
More at heat.com. Staying on that topic, you guys cycled through a lot of different coverages on those two guys. You were even blitzing Murray down the stretch. Did you feel like, in terms of forcing them into tough shots, any of those coverages really got you defensive traction at any point in the game?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they're two great players. Obviously, they both had triple doubles. They can get it done, whether it's passing, playmaking, shot making, whatever it is. That's the reason why they're playing for a championship right now. They're one of the best duos in the league. But I don't think that we did enough as much as we were capable of doing of making it tough on those guys, and kind of like we did in game 2, and just finding ways and adjusting to the fact that we're getting to their spots. We just gotta have a better approach mentally whenever their shots are falling. We can't let that trickle into our offense, and make sure we stay with it and put more pressure on those guys.
First row on the far right.
Anthony Chang, Miami Herald. Obviously, some of it's maybe not as many three-point shots just not going in, but did it feel like they made an adjustment as far as maybe trying to take some of those clean three-point shots away and maybe staying home on the shooters? For them? Yeah. Yeah, they did a great job of staying home and making our guys make tough twos, and they made adjustments. That's part of it. That's that's part of the playoffs. You're going to see different coverages, different looks every game. Every game's going to be a different game. So that was the game tonight, and it'll be a different game 4.
Any more questions? Okay, thanks a lot, Caleb.
Appreciate you.
How would you describe what you just saw from Joker and Jamal? And did anything you saw?
Oh, okay. We're going to go first question here in the front on one.
Hello, everybody.
We'll take first question here in the front row.
Jake Shapiro, Denver Sports. Hey, Nicola, when Jamal can do that for your team and play such an overall game, how much does it benefit you guys?
I mean, we win. I think it's pretty simple. But he's playing phenomenal. I think the whole playoff, and we're just following him, like I said, and he's really good leader. His energy is amazing, and we are just following.
Nicola, did you agree that the only way that your team lose these finals is if your team, including yourself, make mistakes like the lack of effort that Coach Malone said was the reason to lose the game too?
I mean, it doesn't help when you miss communication or stupid turnovers or whatever. But they're a good team, and we need to give them the respect. And it's not just us that they're playing too, So I think it's really interesting series, and we just got one today.
Tim here in the front.
Tim McMahon, ESPN. I know you're not a guy who cares a lot about your stats, but when you have a line that's never been accomplished before in finals history, what do you think of that?
To be honest, I just think it's a win, because if we lose, nobody's gonna even mention. To be honest, I don't care. It's just a stat.
Nicola, you and Jamal have had so many giant games together, but it made history tonight with the 2 triple doubles. How would you describe your guys' chemistry, and also off the court? How would you explain the dynamic that you guys have?
I mean, it's I think it's just respect to each other and a relationship over the years and communication, and I think. But it's not just us. I'm always saying yes. We had a good games, but Christian Brown had an amazing game. Bruce had a really good game. Jeff played really well, So AG played really good. So it's not just us; it's a team. And like I said before, even the series started, Denver Nuggets need to beat Miami, not me or Jamal beat whoever is on the other side. We as a group need to beat them.
Of all the games you and Jamal played together, did this feel like the most in control you two have been? And also, Jamal is the first player in finals history to have 10 assists in each of his first 3 finals games. How much more dangerous does that make Jamal?
I like he's reading the game really well. He's getting guys involved, and I think he's mature, if it make any sense, and he knows where to find the guys and how to control the game. So on the first question, is it the best or is it? I don't know. We are just trying to win a game right now, so we can think about that later.
Scott over here.
Scott Hastings, Altitude Sports. You in the past have said about Christian Brown, you just call him a winner. He's a winner. When you see him play like he did tonight, what are your thoughts? And two, what did you get a chance to say to him after the game?
I mean, I told him you won us the game, and like you said, he's a winner, and he won us the game with energy, with just the focus, the mindset. Even when he make a mistake, it's an aggressive mistake, so you cannot be mad at him. I always say that. So he won us the game, and he was really good tonight.
Standing on the left side.
Nicola, Valeria Rubino, V-Sport, Corriere Italy. So in the locker room, your teammates said you really needed this punch in the mouth from Game 2 to find back your intensity and focus. Do you think now you got to play your best basketball as a team, and what can you still improve?
But yes, I mean, this is the right time. If you're going to play your best basketball, I think this is the right time to play your best basketball. But I think like you said, the team is really important. Yes, a couple of guys maybe didn't make shots or didn't play well, but there's another guys who can step up and fill that position and be even better. So is this the best basketball that we play? I don't know. As long as we're winning games, I think.
Again, standing on the left side.
Alexander Žigić, RTS TV. Macho Serbia was up all night watching the game, and congratulations on their behalf. One question then in native language in Serbian. Nikola, da možda kaže gledalci u Srbiji, prvo čestitam na novom velikom
sjajno i oni su nam
to your huge game tonight. We all know how much you want to win a championship. For you personally, what were the last couple of days like for you leading up to your huge game tonight?
I mean, when you lose the game, of course, it's a bad atmosphere or whatever. It's a bad momentum, but maybe help us to refocus and just be better in the details. I think, but that doesn't mean that we can relax now or whatever. We need to have the same effort because they're going to be even better. So we need to just to have a same or better focus on effort in the game 4.
Standing in the back left.
Nikola, Tomer Zard, Clutch Points. I'm just curious from your perspective. I think the Nuggets are 0-4 when you score 40 or more points, but I think you're like 12-5 when you have 10 or more assists. I wonder if you think there's any correlation between you getting guys involved versus you scoring.
I really don't know, my friend. That's a good question. I mean, I'm just trying to, when you play the game, sometimes it's open, sometimes it's not. Sometimes you shoot, you make, you miss. I mean, you really don't think that when you play. So I really don't have the answer for you. My bad.
Dan again, back left.
Same spot, Nikola. Dan Devine, Yahoo Sports. Did you see anything different from the way they were approaching you and Jamal in the pick and roll tonight? Seemed like sometimes they were a little bit more high pressure. How did you guys handle that?
I mean, I think we saw everything, and I mean, I'm always saying that's why they're so great. They have so many defense, and they're really good in every defense that they're putting out there. They're so aggressive. They're playing on the passing lanes. They're into the guards. Even in the zone, they're so active. Everybody's moving. So, and then in one moment they're blitzing Jamal. So that's why they're so dangerous and they're so affecting the game, and they're changing the momentum of the game and speed of the game.
Last question right here, third row.
Nikola, the dinner you guys had at Jeff Green's house was very well documented. To what extent is tonight's victory a psychological victory, and to what extent is that a result of great team building like that dinner?
He has a nice house. Yes, he has a nice house. Yes, I mean, Jeff is a 27-year-old veteran. He's a guy who he's so professional. I think all the young guys that come into the league or just if they have an opportunity to talk to him or to see his work ethic and see how he's approaching the game, the practice, the workout, the weightlifting. So he's really professional, and that's why he's so long in the league. And having us in his house, it's a really nice thing of him. And hopefully one time we can come to celebrate a little bit better.
Thank you, Nikola.
Hey, my pleasure, Nikola, guys.
Jamal, Youngbusuka, ESPN. Malone was in here saying that he thought you kind of took the blame for game 2, or at least put it on yourself. How long did it take for that last shot? Was that the thing that bothered you in game 2? And how did it motivate you and Nikola tonight?
That last shot felt good. It was more like throughout the game. I felt like I didn't bring the intensity that the moment called for. And even though I didn't play terrible, I felt like I could have done a lot more. And most people that have watched the Nuggets play, when I have a game like that, I'm most likely going to bounce back. So just one of those days. I think not just me, but everybody bounced back. Everybody brought the energy. K only took 4 shots, but he was into everybody. Mike was grabbing boards even though he wasn't making shots. AG
same thing, 10 boards, didn't shoot well, so, or actually shot 50%, but my bad. Just everybody was just coming to the game and wanted to bring the intensity that we're used to playing with. I thought CB was great. I thought Jeff was great. And everybody was ready to play tonight.
Front one on the left.
Hey, Jamal, Shane Allen, Ford Sports. You mentioned Christian. What have you thought about his activity, his cutting, his off-ball movement, everything that kind of just fits in with your style of offense?
Yeah, he knows what to do to stay on the floor. He's solid on defense, shoots the gaps, plays hard. In the right spot, he crashes. He plays solid defense, so he knows the offense will come when he's doing those things. And he's playing with a lot of confidence. We're finding him like he's a 5-year vet. He's just playing the game the right way every game. Even if he makes mistakes, he knows how to bounce back. And I think that's huge for a rookie, especially getting these kind of minutes. And, he's got a lot more game to come, not just in these finals, but, for his career. We're excited to see what he can do.
Joe on the left.
Joe Varden from The Athletic. Jamal, what Nikola did tonight has never been done in a finals game, and then what you two did together had never been done, period. In the moment, are you watching Nikola and appreciating what he's doing, but then also feeling the kind of game and performance that you're having?
What he does, he makes it look so easy. He grabbed 21 boards, and everybody talking about he can't jump. And he's out there battling everybody. He's physical, he's strong. 30 pointers. People say he doesn't want to score. Gives you 32. And 10 assists. So it's just he just makes the game look easy throughout the game. And like I said, it's just free throwing. His touch, his creativity, his no look passes, his IQ. I could go down the line. He's a special player. Special player.
Melissa here, second row.
Hey, Jamal, Melissa Rowland, Fox Sports. Many are calling this game, obviously, your and Jokic's best game as a duo. Over the last 7 years, how has your relationship grown, both on and off the court? How have you guys supported each other through everything both of you guys have been through?
I'd say it's a trust and a feel. It's the best way for me to put it. It's not really X's and O's. Is just reading the game and trust that the other's going to make the right play. If he throws it to me, he knows and expects what to see from me, and he knows the mood I'm in, the intensity I'm playing with, whether it's low or high, time and score, and vice versa. I know when he's overpassing. I know when he's looking to score. I know when he's the best player on the floor. I know when he's taking a second to get into the game. I think it's just a feel and a trust that we're going to figure it out, and it's a lot of unselfishness. Like I keep bringing that up. It's free flowing. If something's there, we go. If it's not, we don't force it. And he makes tough shots look easy, and he's been doing it for a very long time. And I think the consistency doesn't get talked about enough.
Michael, third row on the left.
Michael Pina, The Ringer. With about 7 minutes to go in the second quarter, you caught a pass from Jeff Green and hit a step back over Bam Adebayo, step back three. Just how big was that shot? In
the first half?
In the second quarter.
It was the shot clock was going down, and I just got to my spot and just sunk it down. Just a drill shot that I practiced basically my whole life. So,
Vinny, third row.
Vinny Benedetto with the Denver Gazette. Jamal, your locker's been next to Christian's all year. I'm curious if you've seen him change off the court at all. Is he more comfortable being himself in the locker room as the season's gone on, or has he always just been the same guy?
I think we got a great team bond. We're very tight. Everybody's comfortable saying something to each other, getting on each other. I told CB at halftime to shoot the gap and get the steal because he had a chance to do it in the first half, and he didn't go. And the second half, he went for it. And just the confidence he has to go in the game and gamble like that, seconds after I just told him, like I said, he's gonna grow, and he's gonna be a very, very, very solid player in this league. So excited to see him develop his game and gain more confidence, more trust from not just us, the coaching staff as well, and see him grow.
Standing in the back left.
Jamal, James Jackson with The Athletic. You guys had one of the biggest rebounding margins in finals history tonight, and you had a triple-double, of course, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, along with your 30 points. Outside of you as a scorer, but as a rebounder and a facilitator, what are you seeing with the defense to, pick your spots and contribute when you have nights like these?
I think it's a mixture. You know, sometimes it's just an effort play. Sometimes the ball just comes to you. Sometimes somebody else does the dirty work and boxes the big guy out, you know. So I think it's everybody chipping in to get those rebounds. That's not an individual stat. Like I said, Mike on the boards, AG on the boards following his own misses. You know, I'll come in from the perimeter and help out. Yoke's down there battling every game. So I think it's a collective effort. And sometimes you may not get it, but you may be the reason that somebody else gets it. And I think we did a great job just collectively giving them one shot and getting out and running.
Jamal, Malone said you put a lot of pressure on yourself after Game 2. How do you manage pressure? Like, what do those hours look like, and how do you just try to compartmentalize and not let that pressure dog you?
You know, if people ask, you know, is a big stage, you get nervous and stuff. You're supposed to be. That's what makes you care. That's what makes you alive. That's what makes you enjoy these moments. So it's good to feel that. I just kind of get into my little zone, meditate a little bit, and log back in. Know that this is what I do. This is what I've been doing for my whole life. This is what I've wanted to do my whole life. This is the stage I've been working personally to get into my whole life. So all the butterflies, that's supposed to happen. That shows that you care, and that shows that you're excited.
I asked Malone about it pregame, that conversation you guys had yesterday. He threw his arm around you. He didn't want to say a lot, but what did that mean to you, just to have that never-ending support from him?
Yeah, not just me, but he's always checking on guys, seeing they mood and tone, and I think he does a great job, especially at this stage, just communicating what he's thinking as well, not just picking your brain. But he has, like I said, we've been playing together for 7 years now, and he's got a lot of trust in me and my capability, and most of all the energy, intensity that I bring. You know, he's excited for that. So, you know, he knew I wasn't my best in Game 2, and he looked forward for me to get it back in Game 3.
Tim, last question.
Tim McMahon, ESPN. When you're scanning the box score and you see 32, 21, 10 on Joker's line, what goes through your mind?
I think it speaks for itself. It speaks for itself, bro. Like I said, how many times does he have to do that for, you know, you guys to believe in his game or our game or whatever? Like he's doing it, so making it look so easy, you know, on good shooting, low turnovers, 2 block shots. Got great hands, great communication in the pick and rolls, and IQ and all that. So, like I said, we're running out of things to say. You know, he makes the game look easy, and like I said, the consistency that he's doing that with, not just the first time in finals that he's done that before, and it's fun to play with, fun to watch, and be a part of.
Thank you, John.
Mike Singer, Denver Post. This is for both you guys. That's the first 30-point triple-double for teammates in NBA history. How would you, I believe, how would you guys describe the performance that Joker and Jamal put on tonight?
I would say that it's what they do every game. They make the right play. They didn't try to force anything, and you know that's what we expect from them. And they make everything easier on us. So that's what they do every game, and they make the right plays. And they didn't force anything.
It's greatness, man. It's greatness. You know, it's a dynamic duo right there. Like CB said, they make the right play. They do what the game is asking for them. They take what the game is giving them. And, you know, that's the type of game that we kind of expect from them.
Ohm up here in the front.
What told you in the last 48 hours that not only you would get this kind of effort from your best 2 players, but the overall team, that you guys were going to respond this way after what happened in Game 2?
We're a resilient group, and we're a very prideful group. You know, we don't like how we played in Game 2. It was an opportunity to bounce back and, you know, just hold ourselves accountable and play to the standard that we've been playing all year long.
Last row in the back.
Christian, James Jackson with The Athletic. You had 15 points tonight, and that matches your total from the previous 7 games combined. And so coming in, you were killing it on baseline cuts. And how do you stay so focused and so active and to be ready whenever your coach calls your name?
I mean, those guys make it really easy. You know, playing with those guys, like I said, they make the right play every time. And my job is just to be ready when my name's called. So, you know, playing with Nikola, playing with Jamal, you know, whoever it is, just got to be ready for the ball. And, you know, today found me in some pretty easy spots. So just staying ready, and it's the NBA Finals. So if your name's called, you know, you got to be ready.
In the back right.
Steve Wano, Associated Press. Aaron, how important was your guys' rebounding advantage, just dominating inside against these guys?
It's important. When we rebound like that, it's usually a direct correlation to a dub. So we got to keep eating the glass. Continue to rebound on both sides of the floor.
Fourth row on the left.
Christian Palotie with Sanoma Media in Finland over here for both of you guys. Last game, Jimmy Butler got a few instances where attacking mismatches, he used that Gretzky dribble, then your defense collapsed and they got open threes. What did you do differently today? Because they really went matchup hunting, but didn't really find anything out of those Butler drives.
I think we were overhelping on that. We call it a Hess dribble. What do you call it, Gretzky? Like Wayne? For sure. We were just overhelping. He was getting under the basket, and we were kind of overreacting. And then when we would overreact, he would spray the ball out to shooters. So just got to stay home and give the reasonable, respectable amount of help.
Steve on the left side, fifth row.
Steve Ashburner, NBA.com. Christian, Mike said that he felt you were oozing confidence coming into tonight's game. What was it that made him think that, and how much did that have to do with you being able to defend tonight, even against Jimmy?
Yeah, I mean, the guys trust me all year. When I get in the game, I just try to defend and, do the little things, obviously make it easier on me. And like I said, my job's not very hard. I just got to come in, play with energy, and they find me in the right spots on offense, and the defense just give effort. So those guys have trusted me all year and put me in the right spots, and, my job's to deliver.
Over here on the right, third row.
For Aaron, so far this series has been a chess game where you guys struck first, Miami adjusted, came back, now you guys strike back. Obviously the momentum now swings to Miami for them to adjust and strike back. How do you prevent that, and how do you foresee what they're going to do and adapt to that into the coming game?
We watch this game, we break it down. We have a really, really great coaching staff. So, we leave it up to them to analyze the game and break it down and come back to us with a game plan. And essentially, we just want to play better. We want to turn up. We don't want to stay the same and let them turn up. We want to be the aggressors and turn up our level of play and be more disciplined, execute better, and overall just be better.
Front row on your left.
Jake Shapiro, Denver Sports. Hey, Aaron, you've been around a little while now. How many rookies like Christian could have stepped up, energized the team, and kind of changed the course of such a big game?
Man, no, it's rare. He's a very rare rookie. Other than myself, I wouldn't be able to think of anybody else. Nah, this is that's a rare rookie right here, man. From day one, he's been on top of it. This is a real winner right here, and I say that because he's always in the right spot. He's in the right place at the right time, and he's been doing that all year. He's been doing that from day one, and nothing changes. He's in the right place at the right time on the biggest stage, and now you guys are getting to see it.
Second row here on the right.
What changed tonight? What do you think was the key for the team successful for today? What was the difference for the last game?
I really think it was our execution on defense and offense, but mostly the discipline, the game plan discipline on defense. I think we had far too many breakdowns in game two, and I think we had less breakdowns this game.
Mike here in the front.
Christian, what is it that you might be able to learn from Aaron in terms of moving off the ball, playing off of Nikola and Jamal? And I mean, you guys seem to play similar games in terms of just read and react and feel.
Yeah, I mean, playing off Nikola, obviously all my buckets tonight were layups and just playing off of him and playing off of Jamal. So a lot of his buckets come from drop-offs, relocations, whatever it is. So a lot of my buckets did look a lot like Aaron. He's obviously catching lobs and dunking more than I am, but just learning how he moves, obviously I can take a lot from that.
Second row.
Christian, there's a saying of a famous soccer coach in Europe that kids have no fear. But how do you get to this? That it's astounding in some ways the way you're performing in this series.
Yeah, those guys trust me, so I can't really fail if I go out there and play hard. They don't expect much from me as far as the offensive end. They just expect me to go out there and give effort on defense. rebound, whatever it is. Try to get extra possession for those guys to score. So they trust me. They put me in the right spots, and all I got to do is, lay a ball in and get a steal. So my job's pretty easy, and those guys make me look pretty good.
Take last two here, and then Tanya.
Michael Pina, the Ringer. With about 7 minutes to go in the second quarter, Jamal Murray hit a step-back three over Bam Adebayo. With I think 2 was on the shot clock, and the Heat were on a 5-0 run. Just how big was that shot in that moment? The crowd was very loud.
It was a really big moment. It was a big shot. We need him to step up and take and make those shots. It almost like it quieted the crowd and kind of slowed their momentum down a little bit. So it was a huge shot. Jamal is a big shot maker, big shot taker. He's ice cold closer, so we expect that from him.
Tanya in the middle. Last question.
Tanya Ganguly, New York Times. Michael was in here saying that he felt like Jamal really put a lot of game 2 on himself, took a lot of the blame on himself for it. Did you see him doing that? And what kind of pressure do you think he put on himself to come out strong today?
I think Jamal, he expects a lot of himself, and like AG just said, we expect a lot from him, and those are the performances we expect from him, and we know he's going to bounce back. But all of us, didn't do what we were supposed to do in last game. So, we all felt pressure to come out here and focus, and get this win, and Jamal was a big part of it today.
Thank you, guys.
All right, that was all of the players and coaches' interviews or post-game press conferences after Game 3. We are ready. We're ready to roll, and we're still almost 2 hours away from the game, but the guys could only do this at this time, so that's why we're doing it so early. So thank you very much for watching. If you just got here, you can rewind it and watch the whole hour. Mateo and Jonathan talked for the first 15, 20 minutes about tonight's game and everything that's going on right now in the series. Remember, we're going to do playback during the game, and then also we're posting videos as right now. Brady, Alex, and Ethan are sending videos from the arena. We're posting all of those here on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. So if you haven't done so, please subscribe. Give it a thumbs up to all of our videos. That way you can help us to keep reaching more Heat fans, not only here in Florida, but all around the planet. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Enjoy the game. And we'll see you back here for the post-game show as soon as the game is over. Bye-bye.